The Falls Count Everywhere podcast would like to mention our friends at the following. We Talk Wrestling. For the one-stop you need for the most intriguing stories and headlines, and info on independent shows in multiple regions, We Talk Wrestling has you covered. Subscribe to Facebook's #1 interactive community for professional wrestling today. Pro wrestling on Tuesdays are a blast with the Wrestle Talk podcast. Join the Night Owl, DJ Big Sexy, Luke Roberts, The Alpha, Jay Wade, Nightmare Jones, and many others as they bring you the hottest takes on the major circuits, showcase interviews with various indie stars, and the only place to get news on the most popular fantasy wrestling promotion, the FWWC. Catch them every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Central. Find all of their media outlets on their website at WrestleTalkPodcast.com.
Before each and every show, we like to remind our audience that freedom is never free, and all of us should be grateful to those who lay it all on the line. To all our first responders, military, and volunteers that help our nation every day, we love you and appreciate the sacrifices you make to protect all of us.
Get ready for episode number 122 of the Falls Count Everywhere podcast, as we welcome one of the roughest and dirtiest extreme deathmatch competitors to come out of the Mid-Atlantic, the Rebellious Son, Brodie Parrish. This podcast is scheduled for one episode, where falls count everywhere.
Good evening, everybody. Happy Sunday night here to you, and we're here to party as always. That's right, everybody. Tonight, it's episode number 122 of the Falls Count Everywhere podcast. We're coming to you here live, right here on Facebook, right here on YouTube, right here on Twitch, and of course, our newest platform on Kick, which you can find us at kick.com/Falls Count Everywhere. And of course, you can search Falls Count Everywhere on those platforms. And you can find us here streaming live here tonight. And of course, look at YouTube on our past episodes.
I'm giving a shout out to Z here.
Oh, okay. I didn't know you had LEDs. That's something new. Hey.
There's a strip that lights up my room. I like strip anything, strip lights, strip clubs, strip poker. I don't cheat.
Well, okay. We know somebody's favorite word. I am Rough Cut Rick Ruby here on the left, of course, to the right here. This week is GQ. Zmiz is actually out this week. Been battling some illnesses this past week, and he just could not get well enough to join us this week. So I told him to just sit back, relax, take some of those natural medicines here to make sure he gets better, and then he's going to kick it with us here next week here when we get our
what kind of natural medicines you talking about? Anyway, unfortunately, he got pink eye, SARS, and the plague, so he's taking a little bit of a break.
He did not get the damn plague.
Okay, so he got pink eye and SARS, okay?
Oh, my God. How does one get pink eye? Because I know I got it. I mean, obviously, you got to get your...
Well, never mind. Moving on.
It's not an STD, so it's okay. It's we just want to know, because I think I've only got it once.
A lot of brown nosers get it though, so
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I think I might have only got it once, like in my lifetime. I was embarrassed. I had to go to school with it, so I put a patch over it. So I don't know.
I just got to stay home.
No,
I couldn't see out my eyes at all. It was all,
Oh, I think I may have to stay home initially for like the first couple of days, but when I was not quote unquote contagious, then I could come back. But either way, we stop. God, Lord, where the hell do we go for these damn tangents? Get back on the rails. Damn.
Hey, this is what happens when you
bad.
let me co-drive now. I mean, I take the wheel, go.
You mentioned all these damn illnesses here. Now we're talking about how, as long as we're not talking about other illnesses, we'll be fine. As long as we keep on with our plan here for
I've been
tonight.
working out. Look at that. Not even my hand pushing it. I got muscle.
Right.
Pain.
And I'm a cruiserweight, so
I got muscle pain, is what it is.
Right. Yeah. Whatever. Austin Cage joining us here, and of course, the guy who helped take over the show last week. Trenton's in here, and hey guys. Well, and
for those that don't remember that NWO takeover that happened last week, here's a reminder of it.
Oh yeah, there you go.
I'm just never saying which one was Z. I mean, I'm gonna let it go. We got the locks changed and passwords changed and everything.
Yeah, I think I saw those figures at the Dollar Tree when they were trying to find something.
Man, you remember that one guy in the yellow with the teddy bear that used to buy those things to resell them at the shows? Anyway, so we have a lot of good news.
Yeah, well, I mean,
whether it's good or not, we don't know, but there's some interesting news out there.
Yeah.
First one is the follow-up that we had from last week with the NWA TV deal.
Right, yeah, so that's true.
This was called a segue, by the way, Ruby.
Right, exactly. So, and what I'm trying to do here is trying to see what we can do here in regards to this. So, according to comicbook.com, they've actually put out an article here where they signed a TV deal with
Oh, don't do that song. Do not do that song.
They signed a deal with the CW, which, of course, formerly, I mean, I think I liked it better when that company was the WB, but that's just my preference.
No, I liked it when it was the CW, but they got rid of all the stuff that made it really good, which was all the Arrowverse shows from DC Universe. Flash and Green Arrow and stuff like that. They were going in a different direction. So apparently this is the new direction that they're going a little bit with adding NWA to it.
Yeah. So apparently they did sign with the CW. They're apparently going to have two shows. One, of course, doing their NWA Power, or however you pronounce it, if you're supposed to pronounce it that way. Or and then of course one's going to be more of like reality based, behind the scenes, whatever they want to do. How they're going to figure that show out. So I don't know.
I can guarantee it's going to be something similar to that one that AEW is doing. When it was following like Paige coming back and Adam Cole getting better, they had a back where you saw this everything develop behind the scenes going forward into their matches and stuff.
Oh,
I can almost guarantee they're going to try to copy that.
Yeah. And I don't even know if that show is even still going on.
I don't know. I watched it a little bit, but I forgot what it was called. So that's why I'm just moving on it. But I mean, the good thing with this is if they keep doing what they were doing, CW has an app and you can view whatever shows the next day, pretty much. Or well, actually by 2 a.m. Your time Central, and I think about 11 or midnight my time over in California. So I'm back in California right now, and I moved. Texas was getting too hot for a second.
Yeah, but as far as if CW has an app, that's good, but the CW is not really a paid like cable network. As far as I know, it's like an affiliated broadcast network, same as like ABC, same as like NBC, same as like CBS. So,
but they do use commercials though. That's the thing. It's a free app, but they have commercials, which could help get viewership up still. Because I don't know why. That's what the app is. What's keeping a lot of the Arrowverse shows going. So I think that's what's going to help maybe get the NWA moving along a little better. because no have to worry about people watching it Monday night, Tuesday night, whatever everything is going on right now with all the new wars and everything. You can watch it when you can, and it still shows that you're watching it, and then still make revenue off of the commercials that they have during it.
That's true. I mean, they're going in a smart direction here then. So they did choose a network that you can actually play your show on demand. So which is a good choice, because like I said, I thought my guess would have been Paramount, but I don't know if there's just too much to compete with the Paramount shows. Like maybe if someone's going to go into Paramount, they're not going to go to try to look for NWA.
I think they're doing a lot more. They have a lot more stuff under their belts right now with all the new Star Trek shows that they're doing and a lot of other stuff that Paramount Plus is putting out there. That I think it's like the same thing with Disney Plus and everything. NWA wouldn't be on right away then, because they're still dealing with like all the stuff with Loki and everything, you know?
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. I had to
You
put that
forgot
in there.
to change the password in the chat. You notice that? I mean,
No, this is a public chat, GQ. You know this.
I was going to put a password for those guys. So,
oh well, we can't do that. Yeah, I'm sure this is her, Sims. You're very welcome, sir. Yeah, so we'll talk about that briefly here with our upcoming shows here before we get into that reel about what happened last night. So anyway, but no, I mean, as long as you got a way of them watching, you can go back and watch it. Sure, it's commercials, but think of it this way. I mean, you don't have to wait for a time slot, and if you did have to wait for a time slot, you're watching commercials anyway. So it's a win-win, I think, for them, and it gets them just off the YouTube banner. Whether they're going to still put their shows on YouTube, they may, but it just all depends how they want to handle that, though.
What this actually effectively does now gives 4 competing companies out there now: NWA, WWE, AEW, and TNA. Oops, wait! Spoiler alert.
Oh my God! Here we go.
Another segue.
Oh my God! We sure did, didn't we? Well, let's get that headline up here. Whoops, sorry.
You got to type it and hit the enter button and click on it. There you go. You can do it.
I think I need the Jeopardy theme for all I do here. Let's see.
Pretty much. Yeah.
So we'll talk more about that. But as of last night, there was an announcement that the Impact Wrestling banner is ending.
You got the NWA one up there still.
So what now?
You got the NWA thing up there again.
Do I? It
says NWA signs.
How about if we do that? How about this?
There you go.
Okay. It just did it for me. It didn't do it for that. Okay. So the Impact Wrestling banner is ending, and we're actually getting the return of TNA Wrestling. So on TNA's first big show of 2024, they are returning back to TNA Wrestling and Impact Wrestling. It will be no more. So I guess my take on that is to be honest, I really didn't like the banner of Impact Wrestling. I liked with TNA Impact because that was their weekly show.
But that's the name of the show.
Right.
It's not like calling a company SmackDown or Raw when there's still WWE per se. And the passionate video that was out there of Scott D'Amore talking about everything that Jerry Jarrett and all of them started up and everything. And now that we, going to that, bringing it back, they're going to go more of the nostalgic route and try to go basically competing again as usual. Real quick, I'm going to throw something up for one of the watchers real quick just to say hi.
Oh, hi, Pepper. I guess we can call Pepper the official mascot for Falls Count Everywhere.
Zmiz is down sick, Bella.
Yes. Zmiz is down sick here tonight, letting him rest. I'm sure he's probably watching. In fact, I know he's watching because we've already put up one of his comments here. And but no, I'm pretty excited. So, I mean, do you think we see all new belts or the old style belts coming back for TNA Wrestling?
Thinking here because
But for whatever God sakes, please do not bring back the Jeff Hardy belt. That is the ugliest, most hideous thing.
No, I'll give
ever.
you that. Trust me. You know, I like a lot of belt designs, and that's one I don't.
Oh
Because
no.
hell, I know you've been watching. You know where, how much you love the big W's on stuff. So
Yeah, I'm looking to get my big W belt. So yeah. No. But I think no, I mean I think if they can get away with maybe getting if they can get even a new design with the TNA logo, that'd be pretty cool. I mean they can. I mean, I'm talking about for maybe the world title. Their tag titles were sharp as hell for TNA. The world title, not too much of a fan. They kind of need to redo that world title, and then X Division is X Division, whatever. And then, but do they keep the Digital Media Championship, and do they keep, I'm sure they're still going to have Knockouts title and Knockouts tag titles. So I mean, they're not losing any titles here. So
no, I know. Yeah, I agree. I mean, and I can see them going back to the TNA stuff. Maybe in newer designs if they already are planning this for a little while. I like what Bella said that we should have a Falls Count Everywhere belt. Hopefully, we might have that before April happens next year. So
yeah, well, we can. Yeah, we can probably make something like that happen. I would love to have something like that. But if we're gonna make a Falls Count Everywhere belt, I mean, we want to take it on tour. We want to take it where people can see it, take photographs, and make sure people. And they only get a photograph if they can get either if they've already following, get somebody else to follow. So follow and subscribe. That's your price of admission if we do get a belt. So. And make sure you're spreading the word here to follow and subscribe to every one of our platforms, people. Yeah, we've been going on now. What is this? We've been around for about 3.5 years now. This is like April of 2020 when we had our first episode, and we've been doing a lot more since then. Obviously, we're going to continue to do more. We got big things going on, big things popping, and. Speaking of events,
hold on. Before we go into the shows, I want to show you something. Remember how we had the whole tangent that one show about the new belts with WWE with the W's and everything, and then we showed you the wall inside the headquarters which has a big W on it. If that's not enough, hold on.
No. I'm afraid to look.
Oh yeah, if that's not enough. They actually have a big one outside now.
All right, I seen this. This is
like you got the one right there. You got the one right behind it. It's like if you can't tell, there's a big W there.
Right.
That's your favorite type of design, Ruby, and we know it. We know it.
That's all right. You want to put something like that on your building. I mean, that I'm not one to judge on that, but I just put some originality into your titles. That's all my story is, guys. That's all it is.
Can we put a big F on our belt?
Oh my gosh. No. Let's not do that. Don't even use those plates for templates either. No, we're getting something totally different if we get a belt. Totally something different.
I'm going to do it now.
Oh my gosh. So, well, speaking of which,
right in the middle of that.
Yeah. Speaking of everything that's happened here this past week, and we've had a good number of shows that went down. The Genesis Wrestling had their big event last night with a hint of the return of the Midwest Mercenaries with Sid Holland and Jake Prater. That's been posted. I've seen that floating around somewhere. And then, of course, they had a little costume contest last night where Sid Holland dressed up as Donde Estoy, and then Donde dressed up as Sid, and it was kind of funny, I thought. So, I don't know.
Is this what an aneurysm feels like?
Just take a shot and let it go, bro, because it's not worth thinking about. And And then of course, last night, SICW was down at the I-90 Shriners Temple with a fundraiser, with a decent turnout, with packing the floor. There was actually 2 cage matches. They actually put the women last minute inside the steel cage last night, and they put on a really good show. And then last night, it was the Big Texan defending the I-90 Shriners Championship because he won the inaugural title. He came back there, he had to defend it. So he defended it in the steel cage against Axe Aldward, and Big Texan came away with as defending champ. So, oh my Lord. Oh my God. I don't know if I would have put that up there. That's pretty bad. Oh my. No, my. I'm sorry. We had to do this. We were talking about
it's all you. I mean,
that's me. So apparently Playboy Double H dressed up as the world's worst version of Ken Dow from Barbie. Okay. Well, I mean, I don't know. Does Ken wear that much paint?
At least he's still a better talent than the one that just posted that, because we know who did it.
Oh, well. I don't think Ken wore
this.
this.
The puppet that has more knowledge than him. I'm just saying.
I thought Ken wore more blue.
Oh, that hurt. Huh?
I thought he wore more blue. But then, of course, also ACW was in Mountain Grove, Missouri last night. They put on a big, spectacular show, packing the ringside area with a costume contest for both the adults and for the kids. It had a really good, decent turnout. The residents of Mountain Grove came through and supported ACW last night. So it was, from what I heard, it was a really good, spectacular show. Probably one of the better ones of the year. Like I said, circumstances to where I was at SICW, not there last night, but we're good all around. So,
okay, Facebook, whoever the Facebook user is that posted that, please, we have something we need you to read. Where is it at?
Oh, I got it. Okay, here we go. Here, bro.
Oops, wait. Sorry, there you
go. Did you get it? Oh, here, I got it.
No.
I got it. So, guys, chat.restream.io/FB. That's where you need to go. If you keep coming a Facebook user, make sure you're giving permission for Facebook to use your name and picture and what have not, because Mark Zuckerberg still can't let things go about being selectively secure and all that. So
don't get me started on the Meta thing either. Trust me.
Oh no, Meta sucks, bro. Meta sucks bad. Sucks bad. But no.
Try building stuff on Horizon Worlds. I'm just saying. Anyway.
No, well. No, I ain't got that much time on my hands, bro. Not me. All right, well, I'll tell you what, guys. We are going to break here for about a couple minutes. There's about a good handful of shows, just a decent handful of shows. It's going to take about 2 minutes or so. We're going to show that video. When we come back, we're going to bring in our featured guest of the night, which is Brodie Parrish. So watch this, get a drink real quick, come back, and we'll continue on with our featured guest. See you here in a bit.
Check out these great shows and appearances coming to a city near you. Saturday, October 28th, IWA Productions returns to the IWA Event Center located at 521 Perkins Street in Mount Vernon, Illinois, as they present Paint the Town Pink to support Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Doors open at 6 p.m. with a bell time of 7 p.m. Former TNA and Impact Wrestling star Chase Stevens will be in action, a kids costume contest, and much more. Ticket prices are $12 for front row and $7 for general admission. Be there! Saturday, October 28th, Southern Illinois Championship Wrestling presents the Ben Oliver Memorial Tribute Show at the Fireman's Halt in Collinsville, Illinois, located at 9510 Collinsville Road. Ticket prices are $15 for adults, $8 for kids, and 100% of the proceeds go to support the Ben Oliver Memorial Bench. Doors open at 6 p.m. with a bell time of 7 p.m. Come out and support this great worthy cause. Saturday, November 4th, World League Wrestling returns to the Harley Race Arena in Troy, Missouri for their huge 24-year anniversary spectacular. Your main event features the WLW World Heavyweight Champion Superstar Steve Fender defending his title against NWA Superstar The Masterpiece. Chris Adonis. Doors open at 6 p.m. with a bell time of 7 p.m. Ticket prices start out at $20. For more information on the event and to purchase advance tickets, visit HarleyRace.com. Saturday, November 4th, Southern Illinois Championship Wrestling comes back to the Belle Claire Fairgrounds in Belleville, Illinois with a huge winner take all main event. Don't miss Bobby D defending the Central States Championship and gain the possession rights to the Bruiser Brodie Memorial Battle Royal Cup as he faces your Canadian hero, Sean Vincent. Doors open at 6 p.m. with a bell time of 7 p.m. Reserve your seats for this great event by going to sicw.org or by calling 618-286-4848. Also, keep your ticket stub from this show to attend the SICW All-Star Wrestling Show tapings located at 823 State Street in East Carondelet, Illinois the following day on Sunday, November 5th. Tapings start at noon. Remember, fans, without you in the seats, there is no wrestling. Make sure you make plans to attend these shows, and we'll see you at ringside.
All right.
Sorry, I just had to get done spraying some flea spray because Brent brought his fleas back into the chat again.
Oh, he did. He did.
Yeah.
More fleas. More fleas. Okay.
Yeah. Brent, take a flea bath. You need it. Anyway.
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness.
A lot of good shows coming up.
Yeah, a lot of good ones. And like I said, we're gonna have more the following weeks. Like I said, we're only doing like a couple weeks ahead of time. So and there's also going to be a private show that's also going on, which I did not advertise, but it's a private event that I will actually be part of on this coming Thursday down at the Missouri Athletic Club, involving with SICW. So, but I'm looking forward to that. I was actually part of it with the first one. I think it was the first one last year, or they might have had one the year before. But when they had the wrestling at the Chase,
they've had two already. I thought so.
Yeah. So this may be the third one, but I think I was the first one, boy. But you thought those guys are just rowdy. It's a good rowdy bunch, I will say. So looking forward to that, and we'll see what happens here with the yeah. So we'll see what happens as far as who shows up, and really looking forward to it.
And speaking of fleas, looks like somebody's itching to get onto the show now.
Love your segues tonight.
Yeah.
Love your segues. All right. So, everybody, tonight our guest here has been in the wrestling business for about 7 years or so, coming out of the Mid-Atlantic region. I believe coming from the state of Virginia. I'm probably mistaken. If so, then I'm sure he'll probably correct me. But anyway, but he is on a tear now with his choice of battleground being the death match. And we're going to talk more about that with him. So ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the Rebellious Son, Brodie Parrish.
No, wait a minute. Hold on. Those applause. I'm not Luke Combs, okay? I promise. I don't deserve those kind of applause.
Luke Combs.
No, we thought you were Taylor Swift almost.
Oh, no.
Hey, I had to come up with something funny, man. Everybody's still got the nightmares in their head about that god-awful Jeff Hardy championship belt from all those years ago, you know. Had to get something to think about.
Isn't it? Yeah, I know. But no, welcome to the show, Brodie, man. How are things going tonight? So, for those who we probably chatted about this, but I've now let this know. But apparently, Brodie's had a very busy day, very busy weekend. Thursday and Friday, you had shows, right? You had a 2-day show, right? Then yesterday, you ended up getting married to your fiance, and now you're going to wait on your honeymoon, and you decide, like, oh, I got the show to do, so we're going to wait on the honeymoon. So you're here with us tonight, the day after you get married.
So he does deathmatch stuff. So that's stupid thing number one. Stupid thing number two, he got married. Stupid thing number three is he's skipping it for this show.
Trifecta, correct.
Full disclosure, we're actually going on the honeymoon in November.
Yeah. Yeah, so like I say, you're putting it off just a little. Maybe things didn't work out. Maybe because sometimes going right after on your I mean, we've known people that to do their honeymoons not right after the wedding, which for good cause. And but I mean, but at least
some people may take it down to Branson.
yeah. But at least thank your wife for letting you come chat with us on here tonight. So
I will
how do you
definitely make
feel
this know.
Sleep with one eye open tonight.
Oh.
Trust me.
I don't know. She is in there watching true crime podcasts and all that good stuff while I'm doing this.
You're in trouble. You are in trouble because she knows how to hide the evidence and everything now. So
when they start watching something on how bodies disappear in a hog farm, then you need to start running. Oh my! So we actually got a few congratulations in here for your recent for your recent vows, and
well, thank you.
for all we know, it's the same person because they don't know how to do the thing.
I can only see Facebook user. I can't actually see like what they commented. I can just see Facebook user.
Yep.
Oh, that's
so
it.
Again, if you want to actually be seen who you are, you got to do this.
That's right.
If not, we're just going to make fun of you being a Facebook user.
Oh, that's all right. Some people can get a hold of it, and sometimes, let's see, can I do this? I can do this. Let it run for a bit.
And if you can't type that in, you probably shouldn't be in a chat room.
Oh no! Let them watch. Let them watch.
No.
Let them watch.
No, they can watch without being in the chat room.
YouTube is actually pretty friendly too. So YouTube is pretty friendly. Because I don't know if anybody's watching.
Moving on.
We're on YouTube. I better be careful. Don't want to get us kicked off the air.
We're on 4 platforms right now. We're live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and almost said the other T word, Kick. So or kick.com.
What are we on again, Ruby?
Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Kick.
Well, we're not on the X?
No.
Wow, I went from being not so famous to being seen on 4 different platforms at the same time. Hey.
There you go. Hey, guess what? Facebook.
Well, I mean, not unless it was cops. I mean, when they aired it on 4 different networks. I mean,
anyway.
This got to be the second comment of the night. Facebook user, it's me. So
that doesn't help. Do the thing that's showing it. So your name.
This is why I don't pick on people, man. This is why I don't pick on people.
I apologize, Mr. Simmons. I am so sorry.
It's a big fan of a Facebook user.
Me, sir. He is the godfather of wrestling in the area, so.
Oh my God!
According to the searcher,
our viewership went down. Okay, that's great.
It's because people found out I wasn't actually Luke Combs.
Yeah, that was it. So
I don't think anybody's ever going to mistake that. I'm just saying.
Yikes!
I've heard,
okay.
I've heard Luke Combs and I've heard Jelly Roll. Other than that, that's about it.
I can believe you look like a jelly roll.
Oh my!
Is it kind of like jelly donuts?
Moving on.
Okay, so
go ahead, Ruby.
Yeah, where was that? Oh yeah, here I am. Okay.
Questions.
Yeah. So we're on a question. There you go. Yeah. So for those who are viewing, if you can't figure it out, don't worry about it. We'll still figure you out. We just want everybody watching. We want everybody watching because we love to bring entertainment. We love to bring value in so many ways that you're like, man, why isn't this show on a bigger platform? So, which I think, why aren't we on a bigger platform? We've been around long enough. Damn. Anyway, Brodie, so tell us all about how everything that began with your world of wrestling. Like, when did you start watching as a kid? When did you get the itch? Who were your favorite wrestlers growing up? And then eventually, how did you get your chance to get into the business?
So as far as back when I first started watching wrestling, I was born in '96, so I was born in that area of Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, all those type of guys, and I can remember watching honestly, as far back as I've been alive, dude. It's been around since I've been born in my life, and that's always been something I found really cool. Like I was telling GQ before we came on, some of my favorites were like Kane, The Undertaker, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Obviously, you see his picture back there in the background. Obviously, Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart. I grew up in that golden age right there.
In that golden age of the Attitude Era?
Yeah.
Well, you're saying that you were born in 96. I started wrestling in 96. So you're making me. This is how bad I'm showing my age right now. As I'm talking to somebody who was when I was trying to master bumps, you were trying to poop. So
Yeah, right. I was just trying to make sure it was solid, man. And as far as when I got the itch, I remember being in elementary school and telling everybody that I wanted to be a pro wrestler, that I wanted to be the next Stone Cold or the next Road Dogg, And that just kind of stuck with me. And eventually, when I was 18, I found a school like 20 minutes from here, training under a guy named Billy Warlock. He had trained under Luthez, Carl Gotch. He's also been on the mat with like Josh Barnett, Minoru Suzuki. So this dude's got like a long, illustrious background in wrestling.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Well, that's cool. I mean, to have somebody that, and that's how everything gets passed down, because obviously now that's a guy that defined the golden age is Luthez, and GQ will agree with me there too. Guy that came out of St. Louis, Missouri, which is where I'm at, and proud of it. And like I said, the NWA belt right over here, to the right of my shot. So no, I mean, that's probably one of the most prestigious titles in wrestling today. Even with NWA pushing that original 10 pounds of gold. I mean, think of all the names through that. I mean, I know I'm getting off at a tangent, but Thez, Race, Briscoe, Funk, Flair, Rhodes. I mean, list goes on and on.
God bless his soul.
There's another shows right now. I mean, if you want to talk later years and everything, I mean, with Pierce, who had that for so long, and also Aldis helping to bring the prestige back to it and everything, and not me it seem like it's just a throwaway belt anymore.
Right.
They actually brought prestige back to that title.
And they're rewarded now as GMs of their major shows. So,
Hey, a paycheck's a paycheck. I mean,
hey, no, but it's a good paycheck though. But but Adam Pearce has accepted retirement, which is cool, because he doesn't want to do it anymore. He gave himself a timeline, so he's done. But Nick Aldis, man, I just saw Nick Aldis less than a year ago here, not too far from here in East Carondelet.
Oh, that one. Sorry. Okay. Yeah,
no, we're not talking about that one. We're talking about wrestling skill. We're not talking about talk show skill. We're talking wrestling skill. So at least I'm not a fool that could just go anywhere and do a show. I'm a guy who does false count everywhere every day or every week for out here trying to bring the best wrestling type of podcast to you guys. So that's one
instead of making the fools count everywhere. Anyway, moving on.
Where's my gunshot? Gunshot.
That was a shot.
Okay, that was a shot there, buddy. No, but that's good. No, but to have somebody under the guidance from Luthez and then pass it down. So my point was, get the best knowledge that you can that really somebody knows from the business, pass it down. And if somebody can really maintain that knowledge, that's what is really missing in a lot of today's promotions as far as getting that understanding. Because guys just want to get in there. We have some promotions that have been labeled like tax refund promotions and that only stick around for like a few months.
I've seen quite a few of those.
Yeah, and then backyard promotions, and then it's like, you just want to get in there because
I could do better with my own promotion.
Right.
I mean,
exactly. You're not giving me my push on this.
If they make it past one show or two, they're doing it's a good promotion because they're doing a good job.
Yeah.
But usually those ones that you're talking about, usually maybe one show, if that.
I'm going to take a loan out for 20 grand because I'm not getting my weight promotion. So
Didn't get the push I wanted. I don't have the belt and the girl, and I don't have the cheers. I'm gonna go get $20,000, make my own promotion. Yeah, put the title on myself.
so
Take 10,000 of that 20. Get you a woman. Get you a belt. Throw the rest in the garbage because that's what it's going to be happening. You actually will come out ahead that way.
now the money actually gets possessed by the woman. So, just saying.
It saves a lot of work.
Don't even mention that, bro.
Go out there, and the 24/7 championship is going to be the top title in the promotion.
Oh God! Don't even mention that round freaking golden dinner plate piece of garbage.
Didn't it look like a clock? Isn't that what it? Didn't it look kind of like a clock?
Kinda. Oh, you used 3 numbers off they just rearranged it and take like the minute hand and put the slash 24/7.
Here's the thing. That's what they did. Like, they didn't have time for all these other guys. So they gave them a clock looking belt. That way they thought they could tell time on it,
My gosh.
We're going nowhere after this.
Oh yeah, someone's getting reprimanded after this. So I mean, I don't know. Just all right, but my point is, get the best from the legendary names of the Golden Era, like even like with the Funks and with the Rhodes, and it was around here, Cowboy Bob Orton, who was all in the NWA territories back in the day, making his way around before he got over to WWF in '84. So get these names that know exactly how to work. But if you get Johnny Trash Truck, that's who just happened to buy a ring and is like, I'll teach you how to wrestle. You ain't gonna get nowhere. So just saying.
Probably could have used another name than that one. Anyway, so you mentioned like the main guy who trained you. Who else like helped you along with your training, and how long was it before you actually got your first official match?
So there was a number of guys that had a hand in training me. Billy Warlock being the main one. There was also a guy by the name of Clyde George. I'm not gonna say his ring name for specific reasons because I'm gonna try to keep the business alive to a certain point. There was also a guy named J.C. Dykes Jr., Psycho Carl. There was a few of them that had a hand in it. Billy Warlock being the main one, though.
Okay. So
how long was it till you actually got your first official match?
So I was 18 when I started training, and it was funny because I actually. Because we used to do these training shows for just friends and family, get your experience in front of the crowd, I did a match on those a couple months after, but before I made my actual professional debut, it was about a year. A little bit better then.
Man. So going off of that, just real quick with me, but how often did you train though? Because that's what I'm just kind of wondering if, did I train long enough? Because I was training 3 times a week for about 4.5 months. But like I said, I progressed pretty fast though, because I wasn't even training on my own, going up through high school and my, taking bumps in the backyard. So
right, we were training about 2 times a week at that point in time. Cool. But I was not a very fast learner. I never really have been, so it did take me a little bit. The biggest reason I was working those training shows like a couple months later is just because I was like spot filler and I finally learned how to bump.
Right.
Been there, done that. I mean, we've all been there for that one, definitely.
Learned how to bump. They're like, hey, so we need you to go out here and get your butt kicked, because I don't know if I can use the.
You can say ass here. This point.
Okay. Go out there, get your ass kicked by this guy,
So if you were to put down in the order of those that you thank for helping and all that, number 1 is which promoter again? Or which ref?
Billy Warlock was at the top of that.
Mm-hmm.
Right underneath him would be Clyde, then it would be Carl, and then it would be JC.
Okay.
Okay.
And that's just like, that's in the list of like, that's the order of like who I got to work with the most, you know?
Right. And let's see. So I mean, as far as, so it took you about a year or so. So who was actually in your match on that?
My first official match was Psycho Carl.
It was Psycho Carl. Okay.
It was actually one of the guys that had helped train me. Funny thing, I mentioned the training shows that we did just for family and friends. I actually wrestled Billy in my second time ever on one of those, and then I went to my my prom afterwards.
What is it about these certain things around wrestling? I'm gonna go wrestle. Then I'm gonna get my ass beat. Then I'm gonna go to prom. And then
Prom. Yep. I changed into my suit in the locker room. Everything. The pictures are on Facebook of me with Billy and some of the other guys from the locker room. My grandma and my mom showed up to the show just so they could get pictures of me in the suit, you know.
But you know what? It's not as bad as going in hillbilly gear to bars and club establishment type places and everything, and staying in character the whole time. Anyway,
hey, well, we only do that you only do that in some places just to fit in. So I mean, you know,
you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
That's right. I'm not wrong. You know, it's like, hey,
dude, I did a table
down here.
I did a tables match the other night, man, in a really southern-fied town, man, and I went out there in jeans and a cut-off sleeve flannel, and I fit right in.
Hey, somebody dressed up.
But I'm also the guy that, like, if I'm doing anything weapon-related, I go jeans and a tank top or something, or shorts, like, yeah.
Yeah, my.
Especially when they're out there with, you know, brother, father, you know, sister, wife, whatever you want to call them, and everything, sister, mother, you know, so.
Now, this is Virginia. They got more class than some of the states that show a little bit of the redneck side over here. So.
That area, the country made the Hebner, so not much class.
Oh, man. I did not say that.
Earl knows I love him, though.
I mean, does it count for anything that Tony Schiavone grew up like an hour from here?
I wouldn't brag about that either. So,
Tony Schiavone is like one of the best play-by-play color commentators in all of wrestling.
Tony Schiavone.
Bobby Heenan, I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, Tony Schiavone, he grew up like an hour from here, man. And then Jimmy Valiant's wrestling school is like an hour and a half from here.
Wow. See? So I said that you get a lot more out of Virginia than you do out of Arkansas, but, you know, I'm just saying, you know.
Hey, at least you don't have to leave the house over there in Arkansas and everything to find a date.
Wow. Oh, my. It's getting awfully deep in here. I'm going to go to another question. So, obviously, so besides the guys that you mentioned, you know, after getting started in the business, you've getting some matches underneath your resume, underneath your belt. Is there any other guys that you looked up to, like in the promotion you worked, or if you worked in other promotions, getting anything to sponge off of them? And did you get in what kind of advice that has stuck with you today to help you through that?
So I spent a lot of time when I first started. I was mostly doing shows for Billy's promotion, which is Strong Style Pro. You know, learning, getting my feet under me before I started taking more bookings. The more I started going out of that promotion, because most of what I mentioned here, like Clyde, Carl, Billy, those are a lot of the guys that helped me. There was a few others that kind of poked in and out, but it was when I started working other promotions, I started learning about different perspectives, and I really learned that everybody's got their own way of doing things. One guy whose advice stuck with me was actually Arn Anderson. I met him 6 months after my first match. I did a seminar with him.
Wow.
And I got and I tell people this story all the time because everybody thinks Arn Anderson's not going to be like a very hands-on teacher, neck issues, can't do a whole lot. He was in there wrestling with us, like with the class that he was teaching.
Yeah.
And he's in there, and I was like the first guy he locked up with, and obviously I'm trying to be this professional guy, but on the inside I'm fanboying because it's Arn Anderson. But I digress. But at the end of the ceremony, one of the things he kind of told me, he kind of looked at me and was like, you don't look like the traditional wrestler. You're not big and muscly, you don't have the fake tan. You're a good old country boy, but with what you're going to do a lot of good things. You just need to keep working at it. And that stuck with me very much. And I always said that because Arn Anderson kind of instilled that wisdom in me, I was never going to betray the wisdom kind of thing. And then there was one of the biggest advice that stuck with me as well was Simon Gotch, or Simon Grimm, however you guys know him.
Yeah.
Before I tell you what he told me, what are banned words from this podcast?
Okay, we had Bill Alfonso on here, and he dropped almost every bomb that you can think of. So.
Yeah, like you said.
Try to cut it a little bit. No MA-17 audience here, okay? So.
Okay,
yeah.
So we're not going to get kicked off there if I tell you guys what Simon Gotch told me that night. Okay, good to know. I walked up to him and I sat down. I sat down at the table beside him, and I said, how are you, sir? And I introduced myself by my real name. And I told him, I asked him, is there any advice you could give me being fresh, breaking in, and all that good stuff? He looked at me, he said, fuck everybody else's advice. What everybody else says you should do is their opinion on what they think you should do. If what you're doing is working for you, don't listen to a damn thing anybody's got to tell you. You be you and do what works for you. It doesn't make a damn what I think. Doesn't make a damn what Billy Joe over here thinks. All that matters is what you're doing works.
Yeah. Well,
followed by. But if I'm going to give you one piece of advice, and it's no excuse. Well, I say no excuse. It's no secret that he's not a big Enzo Amore fan. So when I tell you guys this, you're going to understand where it's coming from. He said, if I'm going to give you one piece of advice, don't be like Enzo Amore. And I asked him why, and he said, because the guy's a walking abortion.
Good night, everybody. We'll see you next year.
Wow. Wow.
The great wisdom of Simon Gotch, man.
So we're not going to have Enzo on the show now, so.
I don't know. It feels like we're kind of.
I've never met Enzo, but that was his advice. And like I said, it's no secret. You can go look up thousands of interviews where he's said a lot worse.
Oh, I'm sure. But we were at a fan fest around here in town, in my town of St. Louis, like 5 months ago. We brought in all of these names from recent and also past, and Enzo was one of them. So, I didn't talk to the guy personally. Because he had a lot going on, but he's doing his thing.
Right.
He's
of course, and it's not me talking bad on him. This is just the advice that was given. Everybody's got their own opinion of different people. I can tell you a few big names that I don't think very highly of. But anyway, I digress. But yeah, everybody's got their opinions on different people, and I can't make a fair judgment because I've never met the guy. So it's not me trashing him. It's just kind of hey, yeah, that's what I got told from one perspective.
I think the only time we ever had on the show the phrase "walking what you said." So that was
Right.
from what Simon said. So that's a new one. That even beat Bill Alfonso a little bit, I think. So.
Oh no, I beat Bill Alfonso. Oh no.
Well,
Technically,
Bill also
Simon
said
did.
the F-bomb like 35 times. So in one story.
Oh no.
But you know, Bill did have like some really short stories. Short as in, I mean,
5 hours.
Right. Oh man. But
Hope I timed that right.
yeah, but I mean, like I said, the only advice that I would really want to take into is not more especially with character. I always look for advice with either like ring work or even with psychology. Those are the two big factors.
Definitely.
Because the reason why I say that is because if you've already established yourself as a character, you already know what you're doing as a character. The thing that you can always work to invert and switch up is what you do ring wise, what makes sense ring wise to your character, and what you should be doing, and then also the psychology and how you're portraying.
Mhm.
You know, whether you're going to come in there as a good guy, a face, if you're going to come in as a bad guy, as a heel, whatever the case may be. You know, something that makes sense. Don't just go out there and just do stuff because you think it's going to be cool and you saw it on TV last week.
Or 25 flippity flu spots in the first minute of the match, you know.
I totally see this guy going off the top rope doing a 450.
All right, brother, what we're going to do, we're going to do
No,
about
no,
5
he's going
super kicks
to
and a Canadian destroyer, and then we're going to kick out at 1.
No, I don't see him doing a 450. I see him weighing 450. That's about it. I mean,
will you stop? Get out of here. Will you stop?
Okay. Which one is closer? You doing a 450 or maybe weighing 450? Which one is actually closer to reality here?
I'm a little bit away from 450, but I've never tried one.
Oh, no. I value my life, and there's no water underneath me, so, you know.
It's like what he didn't say about the opponent that's going to be the lane you're taking it. That's the thing. It can't be as bad as the moon spike. Anyway, let's keep going.
Oh, no. Nah, but that's the only thing that if I look for anything, I look for either ring work, psychology, something that makes sense. You know, that's all I look for, because I can morph my character to whatever, and but I got to make it look. And like I said, it also depends on your size, and it also depends on how you're presenting yourself as well.
Well, it's easy for Ruby to morph his character and all that. He's like jelly and Play-Doh mixed together, and you just turn it around. I mean,
hey, smartass, you want to go to your next question? By the way,
see, we're allowed ass on here. I mean, so we know we've already established that you haven't done a 450 or anything like that. What did make you come to the decision to pursue the deathmatch style of wrestling? And who are some of the things that you watch to get a better perspective on the death matches on?
So as far as deathmatch goes and hardcore goes, it's not something that I specifically trained for, but it was something early on I told myself that I wouldn't turn away from just because it's not everybody's cup of tea. My thing was, I wanted to be somebody that a promoter could rely on. You call me, hey, can you do a traditional singles match? Yeah, I got you. Can you do a tag team match? Yeah, I got you. Heel, babyface? Yeah, I got you. Can you do a hardcore match? Yeah. That was my whole thing, was wanting to be the guy that promoters could rely on to pretty much do whatever they needed. And that's why I was very comfortable adopting the hardcore style of wrestling as well. By no means do I consider myself a deathmatch or a hardcore king. There's the guys that I've been in there with for hardcore matches I've done have done a lot much more than me. But it was something, like I said, it was something I felt like I didn't want to say no to, because if a promoter calls me and goes, hey, can you do a hardcore match, and you tell him no, that's a missed opportunity. That's missed exposure. That could be a missed payday. So that was my perspective. I'm going to be the guy that I'm not going to be two-dimensional. I'm going to be able to go out there and I'm going to do what needs to be done no matter what it is.
I mean, I know a lot of people as well, actually managed a few people, that, you know, have done the hardcore stuff, but also just the traditional matches. So I see your point with that a lot, because he wasn't always doing that, but he could if the opportunity arose and everything.
Right, so, and that's what I go for.
Yeah, because a lot of people rather just get pigeonholed into one thing. I mean, some still like Neil Cutter is one I can think off the top of my head that does nothing but the death match or hardcore style matches and everything. But he makes a good run of it, though. That's the thing. I mean, but somebody that is more eclectic with their styles and everything like that, or what they can do in the ring, is a more profitable thing. Like Mick Foley. He had to drop all the deathmatch stuff to go straight into WWE and do the toned down style of some of that stuff and other matches in between, you know.
And of course, there's guys that like I said, I've been in there with guys that have done a lot more in the hardcore stuff than I have. Some of them, just to name a few, Lazarus Black. I don't know if you guys have ever met him, ever heard of him.
I've heard of him.
Good friend of mine. The first hardcore match I actually did was with Lazarus Black.
It's always good to do it with somebody that has been doing it for a while and can help protect you.
And that night, it was funny because me and Laz, it was a tag team match. It was myself and Rex Keller versus the Black Society, Ryan Mantis, Lazarus Black, in a hardcore match. And it was funny because we went out there and we did all the hardcore stuff, you know, beat each other with chairs, kendo sticks, trash cans. And after the match was over, it was almost like we formed a brotherhood that night in that ring, which I thought was really cool.
It's good to be on the good side with somebody you're about to bleed and have light tubes broken over your face and everything. I mean, and I'm not saying that. I'm saying it more in a joking style because I've been around light tubes. They hurt. I've never been hit with one because I'm a little smart.
I've never been hit with one either. Funny thing that you bring up the blood. As much hardcore stuff as I've actually done, I've never actually been busted open.
He's hard-headed. I'll even say that.
The hardcore match I did with Laz and Ryan and Rex, Lazarus Black takes a barbed wire wrapped baseball bat, pushes it to my forehead, no blood. And it's non-gimmick barbed wire. Goes through, tries it again. And the second time go around, you can actually see in the video, I tried to almost gig with the barbed wire. And didn't work. No blood. You just hear Laz in the video go, "How strong is your damn forehead?" I get back to the place we're staying that night. I look, there's pinholes all in my head. Like, there's like 20 pinholes across my forehead. No blood. And it stemmed again a couple weeks ago. I did a hardcore match at AIWF Mid-Atlantic with Ty Tyson. And this time, I came prepared. I had a gig. It was, it was stashed like a traditional gig is stashed.
Yeah. Right.
And I go through the whole process. No blood whatsoever.
Wow.
I don't know.
So I bet you your in-laws will actually tell you also that you probably don't have a lot of blood flow to your brain right now. So nothing goes up there apparently. I mean,
right? Yeah, dude, I did everything I was told to try to make it happen.
I'm guessing like your in-laws don't really come to any deathmatch shows or anything like that, which I know that leads into Ruby's question. Segue. Right. Anyway.
Yeah. I was just gonna guess on him. Maybe the extra layer of fat went in the wrong place, and it just
right. No. You know, with me, you and me, Ruby, if the fat was in another place, I still bleed gravy. Anyway.
Right, exactly.
Or milk.
So I mean, I'm going to be honest with you, and I respect what you do. You know, as far as having to put yourself through whatever, especially with you trying to rake yourself with barbed wire that should be cutting any other normal human being, but nothing's coming out of your forehead. But
I still cannot explain that one to this day.
I mean, unfortunately, God bless the soul, Bruiser Brodie. You do not want to look like that.
Bruiser Brodie is another one of my biggest inspirations.
Yeah, as well as should be. Yeah, Brodie has done a lot, and
actually, one of the people in the chat that we had tonight was actually good friends with Brodie. Has brought in his widow for shows. It has the Bruiser Brodie Memorial Battle Royal.
I noticed. I noticed in the pre-opening video package, y'all were promoting the Bruiser Brodie Memorial. The funny thing is, when I was coming up with my ring name, that's why I went with Brodie, was because of Bruiser Brodie and Brodie Lee. That's why I adopted the Brodie name, was as a tribute to those two.
Wow.
Yeah, and the fact that you're not copying them, it gives me I have a lot of respect for you for that too.
I didn't want to copy them. I didn't want to go out there and I didn't want to do their exact same movesets. I didn't want to dress like them. But with as big of an inspiration as those two were for me, that was my way of showing my respect to what Bruiser Brodie and Brodie Lee did.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, it's cool that you do that. So, I mean, as far as because he has, so we around here in town, come from the area. Herb Simmons was, really, really good friends with him. So the whole thing is, we have, well, one of the promotions I'm with, with SICW, and that's with Herb Simmons. That's his baby, for over 50 years now. There's a Bruiser Brodie Memorial Battle Royal that we've had since 2015. So that's all done in his name.
Maybe one day I'll be able to make the trip up for it.
Yeah.
It'd be nice.
Right now it's in the state of Missouri. So, and it's probably not going to happen again until next May at our next big fan fest. But,
right,
you'll have to be a license in the state of Missouri to compete. So if you like jumping over hoops and jumping over hurdles and going through hoops, then welcome to the state of Missouri.
Hey, you know what, though? He could do his deathmatch stuff there because they don't allow blood and he can't bleed anyway.
Yeah, well, they don't go by hearsay in Missouri. They want. Oh my God, dude. Let me just. It's gotten easier on my renewals for blood work and through the physicals and everything else, but it's gotten easier over the last few years. But what I was getting to here with my question here, and then of course after we kind of get into that, we are going to take a little bit of a segue break to do one of our featured things.
Gonna take a pause alert. Cool.
Yeah. Take a pause to have a little fun after we discuss this, because I'll be honest, I look at death matches and like, why? So let's just, because to me, I grow up old school. I just go and I just beat people up. I don't need, glass or light bulbs or tacks, whatever, whatever the case may be. So role playing a scenario here. You're inviting me to a deathmatch show, and of course I'm not for it. So what would your selling points be to convince me to buy a ticket to come to the show and watch and enjoy a deathmatch?
One of the biggest things I've ever noticed, and like I said, this is just a perspective from me. I didn't make my specialty in deathmatch or anything like that, but there's a place for all different kinds of wrestling. There's a fan base for all different kinds of wrestling. And if you're not into it, I understand. Like I said, it's not everybody's cup of tea, but it's something about it. The fan base for hardcore matches, it's something surreal about it. It's almost like it reminds me of the atmosphere of the old ECW back in the day. Because when you're working those kind of matches, typically those that are fans like you end up in front of are those hardcore, true, rowdy fans, which is an awesome feeling. And though it might not be your thing, you could probably learn to, like, I'm not going to say love it, but you could learn that though it might not be everybody's cup of tea, there's still a place for that in wrestling, just like there's a place for old school. Like I was telling you guys earlier, I was trained by a very old school guy. Billy's not a deathmatch dude. Billy's not a hardcore dude. He is a get on the ground and wrestle you dude. There's places for that, just like there's places for the Terry Funks and the Mick Foleys. There's places for Rey Mysterio and Ricochet. There's places for all of this, and it's so cool to see all these different styles, all these different walks of life coming together under one banner. And that's one thing I've always really loved about wrestling, is it's never been just one and done. There's all these different things that fit under there and have their own place and have their own niche.
Yeah.
Long-winded answer.
No. I mean, sometimes it needs some explaining. It's not. But as far as like trying to convince somebody, because I will say, probably one of the more graphic matches I've seen which was about a year and a half ago, possibly, and GQ, probably what I'm talking about, with the Izzy Blackwell Memorial when they brought in
the one right after
Pondo.
The one right after the tag match.
Right. So, yeah. So the last match of the night, and of course, you got to know when you say the name Madman Pondo, you got to know who the hell we're talking about.
Dude, of course, I have a DVD in my bedroom right now. It's a Japanese hardcore wrestling DVD, and it's got a match on there between Madman Pondo and Necro Butcher.
Oh, God. Man, I'll tell you, that's probably Staple Fest galore, probably.
No, but there was an actual knife used during that match.
Oh no.
I think it was Pondo took an actual blade, like one of the knives, like what you see in the Michael Myers movies. Like, I can't remember exactly what kind of knife it is, but
Machete?
Huh?
Machete?
No, not a machete. That's Jason. Like one of the actual, like, you pull it out of the knife block, but he actually took a knife, and instead of barbed wire, that's what he took across Necro Butcher's forehead.
Oh.
And I'm like, dude, I don't care what I do in wrestling, I'm not taking a knife to the forehead.
Why not? You may actually bleed this time.
You know what sucks about that, Ruby? You beat me to the punch on that one.
Yeah, you might. Oh, but no, we get it, man. It's just my only concern here when I was getting back to that, it was a barbed wire death match that see, this is my concern, and why, and this is why I will never sit in the front row for any show that has this, because even of which they had light tubes, they had broken glass. I mean, they took off the ropes, they put barbed wire in its place through the holes of the freaking post. I'm like, damn. So, but when they're busting light tubes, I mean, everything goes everywhere, not just powder, but the glass in the freaking light tubes, it's so minute. You just don't know where it's going to get into. I mean, it could float in the air for like forever, and it could actually float into your eye. Like
that's one of the biggest reasons I've avoided light tubes this entire time.
The people have to understand it's not that, we can't take it, don't be a wuss. No, we're looking out for the guys who actually pay tickets to see you.
Right.
That's a liability. That's being responsible, because if somebody gets hurt, they can sue your ass. That's why.
I had this conversation with Billy not too long ago about light tubes, and I told him, I was like, man, I don't care what I do. Light tubes is one thing I've always been very hesitant on, for the fact of it's way too unpredictable. Now, if you can go out there and you can take it, the more power to you. May the odds be ever in your favor. Lazarus Black, Raven Havoc, I just watched them two do a match the other night. More power to you guys. But for me, it's that glass can get in your throat, it can get in your eyes, it can hurt the fans, and that's why I've worked so hard to avoid that my entire career.
Now that I will, so that I respect for. So therefore, you told me. So your selling point to me would be there's not going to be any live tubes in my match. Boom, I'm sold. Let's go see it. So that's my only fear, and not for me personally, but for others that could get hurt that don't
So in
know.
other words, Ruby's going to watch your match and he's going to say, let's go get a burger now because I'm not staying for the rest of the show.
With as much stuff as I'm willing to do, glass has always just been one of those things I've steered away from for those several reasons. That's honestly the same reason I've never messed with like fire or anything like that, because it's way too unpredictable.
Dude,
and like what happens if
I'll take flash paper any day. I will take flash paper any day over a freaking light tube. Trust me.
My thing is,
But
back
you don't
in
have anything to burn, Ruby.
My eyes, you moron.
I mean, I've got this can foosh, foosh.
Yeah.
Back in like the old ECW days, the flaming tables, man. I always pictured what would have happened had that fire not have gone out and caught the aprons or caught the canvas, or didn't go out and caught the referee, and that was like,
right.
Nope, I'm good. Nope, not gonna do it. That's why I say, dude, like, I'm cool with going out and doing hardcore matches. I'll dip my toe in death matches, but there's still stuff that even I'm not gonna go out there and mess with. And like I said, all the respect in the world to guys that'll go out there and do it. I know quite a few of them, but like I said, it's not my niche to go out there and do everything like that.
There you go.
And besides, Ruby, that match that you were talking about, you saw and everything, I was disappointed that I didn't see about 20 of them busted open the one manager's head. I'm just saying.
Jeez. Well, we'll get more in depth here about our I guess with the death match, and of course we'll also talk about hardcore and the styles and all that, because that's kind of up my alley a little bit here too. But tonight we are taking a brief moment of pause just to have a giggle or two at other people's expenses. That's right, everybody. It's time for this week's Wrestling Gold Memes. There you go,
baby. You have it back.
Yes, I did it. Yay, I rebooted everything. Okay. So, of course, these are memes featuring some wrestlers here, and we just want to get a chuckle out of, just depending on what the picture is here. We're going to start off here tonight with when you smell what the Rock is cooking and decide you want to try the recipe yourself. That's your boy Austin there, Brodie.
I saw one like that a while back, and it was when cans of whoop ass are 50% off.
Oh, right. That's a good one, too.
I'll send it to you next time I find it.
But it's just, I was kind of wondering if Stone Cold's wearing some Birkenstocks or what. I couldn't tell what he had, and I'm trying to see what he was. It didn't look like from the Piggly Wiggly either. So
maybe some local grocery store around where he lives, man. Because I know he's not eating like 4 bags of takeout.
He's not that stage in his life yet. I know.
Okay, what's the next one?
All right, so next one. And here we have Yosemite Sam and Elmer Fudd fighting over who will get to shoot that wabbit.
Okay, now I need you to send me that one.
Oh, yeah, you'll get it, man.
Be very, very quiet. We're hunting wabbits. Anyway.
Gotta love Dutch Mantel or Zeb Coulter or, at that time. I'll tell you.
They could call him Zeb Coulter all you want. He will always be Dutch Mantel to me.
Right. Yep. Dutch Mantel. That's right. Yeah, but no. Yeah, but Dutch had done a lot of things in this business here too. But Oh,
See, a lot of people don't think I know Dutch Mantel and Bruiser Brody. I'm 26, but I know my history.
And that's what you need to do. You need to go back in your history. Names that really meant something. So
I'll watch a Bruiser Brody match over some of these guys any day.
There you go. Absolutely. And what about our next one here? Oh, yeah. You see here at Dead Man Inc. Life Insurance will make sure that your family will be in peace when it's time for you to rest in peace.
Oh. Oh.
Hey, I was going to say you need to change your avatar. He's probably flipping me off of the camera right now.
Probably.
Oh, sorry.
Can't tell me that's a good one. That's not a good one.
That's freaking great.
Oh, what'd you think of him appearing on NXT, bringing back the American Badass gimmick?
Dude, I thought it was really cool. Because like I said, it was so cool to see that gimmick come back. It was something I grew very used to, like when I was really, really young. So that was like a big part of my childhood was the American Badass thing. And now that that's what he's doing again, and decided he's going to hang up the duster and the trench coat, you know, it's cool to be able to see him come back in that light every so often.
Yeah.
No.
No, someone prefers the trench coat and the duster, but it's kind of good that he can go back to it. But, you know, he kind of was in that Boneyard match he had with AJ. Which
the Boneyard match stands to be my favorite cinematic match I've ever watched.
Yeah, cinematic, yes.
Yeah.
And I've watched all the Hardy Compound cinematics, you know.
Oh, man.
But the Bray Wyatt and John Cena one was a little.
Oh, the Firefly Meth House? I mean, Funhouse?
Yeah. I don't know.
Moving on.
Rest your soul, Bray Wyatt. Love you. But, you know, I had to be on some special medication to watch that match.
Just because of Cena. Anyway.
Let's see. Our next one here. Here we go with Bully Ray and Hulk Hogan. Dating my daughter? Suspended. But dating my daughter? Promoted.
Marry the daughter, you own the company.
Well, darn
You
near.
need a third one. Doing my daughter, barred for life, and Macho Man picture.
Oh.
I'm not ever going to get a promotion to any big company now after that one, but okay. I know anyway.
Oh, we got one more here for you. Let's see. When everybody wakes up the next morning after a hard night of drinking. There you go.
Been there, done that several times.
About this, those will be the four that would be out drinking together too. You got Doug was doing the powder too, and then IRS.
Why does IRS kind of look like Triple H when he took that foot to the face that one time, just standing there, just dead in the air?
Yeah, but you know what? You all know who you could pick as the designated driver out of this group. It would be IRS.
Yeah, oh yeah. Probably so.
Good Lord, I know.
Which one of us is the designated driver?
There was a bar over in Illinois near Ruby called Pops. Piper and Flair both have stories about that club that they gotten in trouble at there together. And with Bob Orton.
Cool.
Not innocent, but, you know.
Gosh.
You want to hear those stories? Buy the shoot DVDs. I ain't telling them on
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. Oh shoot! But that is our gold memes and wrestling here for this week. Hopefully, you got a little chuckle out of those.
Might need to go get some Dead Man life insurance.
Yeah. I kind of like the Yosemite Sam and Elmer Fudd one myself.
As much as I love Looney Tunes, that one was great. Even at
no.
26, I would still sit here and watch Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner, Yosemite Sam,
Yeah. GQ, I think we're to you on your next question, sir.
So we talked about you not being able to bleed. Okay. But what would be some of the worst injuries that you have suffered to date from being in death matches? And what are some of the most horrific injuries you've seen from someone else competing inside one?
So, as far as my injuries go, the bad part is I've never gotten hurt doing a hardcore match. That's I've tore my meniscus during a regular match. I've hyperextended my elbow. I got a concussion taking a chair shot, but I've never gotten actually hurt during a hardcore match. I've seen guys go out and, go do gusset plates and barbed wire, and they'll come back and arms are shredded up, back shredded up. Looks like they just got dipped in a big vat of that fake blood you buy down at the Halloween store, But it... Yeah.
Yeah, I know glass can be really detrimental. Like these Four Corners matches, it's like you guys are insane. Like one in barbed wire, like one in broken glass, one in thumbtacks, one in like.
I seen one on a DVD. It was several years ago. I think it was a backyard wrestling DVD. I think's what it was. Because back when I was a kid, there was actually backyard wrestling DVDs.
Right.
And I'll tell you about this match first, then I'll get back to what happened when I rediscovered those DVDs as an adult. But anyway, so there was a match on there. One side of the ring had barbed wire, one had mouse traps, and one had cactuses, like legit cactuses.
Oh.
And as a kid, I'm sitting here watching this going, the why? Like, this is cool, but why? And then I go back as an adult and I rediscover these DVDs because I found one for like $1. And it'd been like 10, 15 years since I've watched one. I pick it up and I watch it and I go, why the hell was I entertained by this? This is so stupid.
There are some that actually turn into extremely great promotions, and others that just, they do it because they saw that friggin' idiot that says F this stuff and everything and jumps on stupid ass stuff because he thinks it's going to get him popular and he's stupid as hell.
This is for all the Juggalos and Juggalettes. Oh, wait, what?
No, that guy.
That. Oh my God!
I heard people want to bring him in for no, absolutely.
Oh my ass! Oh my arm!
But I mean, it's good when you think about it. That makes a whole lot of the stuff. Which one of your next deathmatch shows, you need to bring a couple of things that I'm going to mention here. There was a show that was running in the St. Louis area where I got my start at, and it was called a Fans Bring the Weapons match. Fans, hold on, it gets funny. Fans were brought in bowling balls. They brought in DVD players VCRs. But one person brought a frozen chicken pot pie, and it was used. People chanted for the chicken pot pie for a whole year after that. And then another one, somebody was walking to the show. They found somebody had hit a street sign. It still had the concrete base around it. They brought all of that with them, and that was in the match too.
The funny part about it is, I grew up watching ECW and WWF back in the Attitude Era, so I got to see like Raven and New Jack bringing these shopping carts full of just the most random crap you can find. And I always thought that if I ever did a hardcore match, I'd want to recreate some of like what Raven would do, because Raven would just bring this random stuff like the Frankenstein doll, the potted plant, like. And I remember the first time I did any kind of hardcore match was Last Man Standing match. And me and dude brought all these weapons in, and we're sitting there going through it. There was a computer monitor, there was a camping stove, there was a popcorn cooker, there was a bike chain. There was at one point in time I worked a match. We used Guitar Hero guitars.
Oh,
Damn.
I was at a show. I looked under the ring. There was an original Xbox under the ring.
Oh.
somebody should have took it out of there and take it to a store and got some money for it. I mean, I'm just saying.
Apparently, it didn't work because I asked questions as to why it was there.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I've
And
got
it's
actually
amazing
one
what
of
people try to bring in to use and everything, not realizing some of the stuff in it either will explode on contact, like cell phone batteries or stuff like that, or don't give and you're denting your head more than you are the item. You know what I mean?
Right?
Right. Well, freaking you're talking about original Xbox. I've actually got one on my entertainment center here in the studio that works still, and I try to keep it in good shape because
I'm on the hunt for one now because I was working the old shoot job the other day, and one of my customers come in the store and brought me. It was a copy of like one of the first football games me and my brother ever played together, Blitz the League. I don't know if you guys ever played it on the OG Xbox, PS2,
yeah.
And so now I'm on the hunt for that just because I remember playing that game and seeing like you go through there, power bomb people, or you hit somebody in the X-ray mechanics, you see the ribs shattering. It was so gnarly.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't know they made NFL Blitz for that.
No, it wasn't NFL Blitz. It was just Blitz the League. It was a different franchise altogether.
Oh, yeah.
They even had a mode on there called prison mode. Like they'd go on there, it was a prison yard, no padding, no helmets.
Oh.
Which a lot of football players know nowadays anyway. So,
ew, wow.
That was a good segue for that one. But anyway.
Oh, my.
I want it on record. I did not say that one.
Are you worried about getting signed to a football contract? I'm not. I don't care.
Damn. Funny. That is funny. So kind of going back here because we've mentioned we've mentioned deathmatch a lot, and then now we're also on now to what I grew up with, which was hardcore style. So if we can, basically in your opinion, what is the difference in the contrast of styles between the death matches that you see today and then the hardcore matches that were televised, through ECW, and then also eventually getting into WWE as well, back to the Attitude Era?
So, and I'm really glad you asked this because of the fact that I identify more with like the hardcore side of things. Yes, I can dabble in deathmatch. I do tend to lean more towards the hardcore side of things, but there was a reason for that. Deathmatch, you're out there, it's always guaranteed to be blood, buckets and buckets of blood, shattered glass, barbed wire, all that stuff. Hardcore matches back in the day, and I usually refer to the old school, like the Attitude Era WWF hardcore matches, Crash Holly, Hardcore Holly, Al Snow, Steve Blackman, those type of guys. Yes, they had the weapons, they had the craziness, but it didn't always have to be buckets of blood. It didn't always have to be the most violent thing on the card. For them, it was just about creativity and being different with how they were entertaining the fans. It never had to go out and be gory. One of my favorite hardcore matches to this day had not a single drop of blood in it, and that was Al Snow versus Hardcore Holly, St. Valentine's Day Massacre. The whole gets thrown in the Mississippi River. They're out there getting bounced off of trees. Like, for me, it was the difference there. It didn't have to be overly violent, but it was still creative, and that's what made it really entertaining. They'd go out there and they'd hit each other with box fans. The kitchen sink was using a few of these. It was never about being overly violent as it was about being different and being just out there, making yourself stand out.
Yeah, because there was an era here where a couple promotions I did work. We did have hardcore, and I believe did I hold it? I think I did. I think
I
I thought
held it
so.
too. If we're talking about MPW for one of them,
Right.
I
Important.
held it. Well, actually,
Yeah.
I didn't hold it. Somebody that wore yellow did, and so did the teddy bear. They actually pinned the guy for
Yeah.
the anyway.
But
I
I
just saw
know.
somebody get hit with a teddy bear the other night. Anyway.
Yeah. Oh my. But yeah, when I was working for those companies, I was trying to get innovative too because I mean everything like with MP, like you said, the MPW, which was at that time Missouri or Midwest Powerhouse Wrestling, and
Yes, I forgot
um,
which one it was. I think it was Missouri though.
it was Missouri at the time. So, uh, so we did have hardcore and like a hardcore division. So I was champion for a bit. Or I can tell if I was. I mean, is it pretty bad? I can remember if I was hardcore champion or Missouri state champion at the time. I think I had both titles, but
Not at the
uh,
same time though, but yeah.
no, not at the same time. No, but no, I
Don't feel
mean,
bad on it. There's matches I don't even remember.
yeah,
But the thing with the MPW hardcore belt at the time, it was a mixture of hardcore and 24/7.
right, which was pretty cool. But we were in a outlet mall at the time too, and we actually got a hold of some like things that some construction crews left behind and they didn't come back for, like one of those big orange plastic barrels. Let's see, and I brought my own stuff. I even did bring an old bowling ball I wasn't using anymore. I brought that in. There was a shopping cart, and even at the time, there was a coffin that was just laying there, and
A
I ended.
coffin?
I took a match home with power bombing somebody on the coffin, and it was
That
an
would be
all.
cousin Zeke, by the way. Just saying.
It was
Where
an
do you
all
find a
wood.
coffin just laying around? Did somebody just like return to sender?
No. This is a custom coffin built. It was a wood coffin, but I felt so bad because I thought, maybe it might bounce up a little bit. I mean, because
Okay, so nobody grave robbed for just the coffin, then put the body back. Okay, good to know.
It was like the Yokozuna size type.
yeah,
Okay, I got you. Like the old school one that Undertaker built for Kamala. I got you.
Yeah.
right. So it was a wood one, and man, I'll tell you what, I felt so bad for the guy because he took the freaking bump like a champ, and I mean, totally back bumped on the thing with the power bomb, and god dang, I mean, I think it was like thud, and just like he took the bump and didn't. There was like no bounce, no residual, nothing, just like stuck, and I'm like, I think it took the wind out of him a little bit. Thank God it took it home there, but
It was
man,
you mentioned the thud, man. The match I did with Ty Tyson a couple weeks ago. I don't know if you guys saw it or anything like that. It was for AIWF Mid Atlantic, and there was a spot we were outside the ring with cookie sheets, and we were going back and forth with the cookie sheets. Ty popped me with one, and it sounded like gunfire in the building we were in. And you actually hear the commentators go, "Oh man, it sounded like a shotgun going off." You just hear the other guy, "I didn't think hunting season was open yet."
funny.
Who was that did that? What was the wrestler's name?
Ty Tyson.
Segue. So you've actually talked in recent times that your intentions are to be a part of the AIWF, and your main target is the Deathmatch champion Ty Tyson. Besides the goal of becoming the Deathmatch champion, do you have any other bucket list of matches or promotions you would like to wrestle in to add to your resume?
So the AIWF Hardcore title, that's Ty Tyson. That's what he's holding down here in AIWF Mid Atlantic. That's definitely something I've got on my bucket list. As far as other matches go, I actually just got to cross a bucket list match off my list Friday night because I did a tables match. So I got to cross that off my bucket list. But as far as other ones go, like your traditional steel cage, war games, I haven't got to do any of those yet. War games is probably my biggest bucket list match, though.
Are there indie independents that are actually able to do those type right now, or?
There's a bigger independent down in North Carolina called AML. They do one every year. They're the ones that host WrestleCade and all that good stuff. I'm hoping eventually I'll be able to make it down there. I've seen a few other indie promotions do it or do it in different incarnations. But for me, if it's not the 2 rings with the big cage and, it doesn't count. Because I've seen it done with 1 ring. But I'd prefer the original WCW style with the roof on the cage and all that good stuff.
I mean, I know some groups have tried to at least do a single cage like that, but not many, even in the Midwest or Texas area or California area, that have done that at all. Oh,
right.
I thought I drank soda, but damn.
You do drink soda, damn.
It was sitting here, and I didn't want to leave the interview to go get a cup.
Yeah. Hey, next time you be fancy, pinky up.
For the 2-liter bottle, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Just leave it for the wife later. You guys are sharing germs, I'm sure. So.
But are there any other groups that you can think of that you would like to get to at some point? I know you mentioned like possibly coming up for around the Bruiser Brody Memorial Show for SICW, at least trying to get up there, at least talking to that promoter. What other groups would you also think you would like to do?
To be fair, I'd like to go pretty much anywhere that would have me, man. I'm not really going to discriminate against one or the other. I want to take as many opportunities as I can to work as many places as I can. Because that's how you get the experience. That's how you get the exposure. That's how you get better. You work as much as you can, and that's what I'm going for.
Especially when you go on the road. Segue.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Segue again there.
Yeah, another one. But before I get into that one, because I was just thinking something here regarding your name, and then I got a message from somebody about in regards to your character, because I guess because were you part of a group called Sons of Rebellion?
Yes.
At one point, I mean, are you still in that faction, or is that just something that's
so that faction has disbanded at this point in time?
Oh, okay.
That was myself and Rex Keller, but I'm not gonna say that there's not other Sons of Rebellion members lurking.
Right.
There might even be a daughter of Rebellion hanging around somewhere.
Right.
Spoiler alert. Anyway.
Yeah. But with your name though, would you think, or even would you? I mean, have you had any desire to even maybe put a touch of Bruiser Brody into your character, whether it be into your moveset, whether it be into, have you thought about something like that?
I looked at how Bruiser Brody used to go out into the crowd, and there would be people running from Bruiser Brody. And that's always something I've wanted to try to do before. Obviously, I can't do it in Virginia just because of restrictions. I've tried it a few times in North Carolina. Huh? What's that?
I said that sounds familiar with restrictions there.
Yeah.
Right.
Virginia has quite a bit of restriction on us. I've tried scaring some fans in North Carolina before, and it's worked. It's worked perfectly, but eventually I want to get to the point of actually being able to have fans running like Bruiser Brody did, just because it was so cool to see. And you don't really see a lot of guys that can still pull that off nowadays.
Right, exactly. Because he was a scary character, but I mean, if you can get, I mean, what? How tall are you, if I may ask?
6'3".
Oh, I mean, it's close enough. I mean, you're tall. You got you got a full beard. I mean, you go out in the crowd.
280 pounds.
Dude, that size going through, bro. So I mean, that's something you could pull off. I mean, if you just get mad as you know what, and then just go out and I don't know. So obviously you have to be licensed in the state of Virginia to work.
Yes, you need licenses here. You need licenses to wrestle. You need licenses to promote. You need matchmakers licenses.
This sounds like an East Coast.
Feeling a deja vu there.
I was going to say this almost sounds like an East Coast Missouri here, GQ. That's what it sounds like.
Good old Commonwealth of Virginia.
Right. Yeah. What's so common about it? Anyway, but yeah. So I know. I mean, like, so you've been through Strong Style. I mean, I don't know if Strong Style's been, Strong Style Pro has been like your only promotion. I don't know if you got into anything else. I mean, is there everything that you've been through so far in your 7 years that you've gone through being in the business? Is there any fan experience or like a funny road story that stuck with you for whatever reason? It's something that you like to go to tell people in regards to that?
I got a couple. How many you want?
Show. This is not MA17 show, so but remember that before you tell the story. So
yeah.
How many you want?
Give one good one.
Okay, so this was last year. Well, actually, it was earlier this year. We were down in Clayton, North Carolina, and we were in the locker room at the time. It was me, it was Lazarus Black, and it was Raven Havoc. The main event of the night was Lazarus Black versus Raven Havoc. They were doing a little bit of a death match for the main event. Everybody else had cleared out of the locker room. It's just us three just sitting there, shooting the crap, whatever. We're all talking. And we were this was at a Rat Rod car show. So, we were outside. We were changing in somebody's garage. That was right there. And we're all sitting there, and Raven Havoc just speaks up and goes, "Man, I gotta go to the bathroom." And me and Laz are like, "Oh, go. The porta potties are out there, about 100 yards." He goes, No, I don't want to go out there. And we're like, "Why?" They go, I don't want to get anything on my shoes when I go in the porta potty. And me and Laz are like, "Dude, you're good. Go ahead. Go out there. Go to the porta potty." He goes, "The floors are graded. If anybody pees on it or whatever, it's going to just fly." "No, man, I don't want to go out there and get anything on my shoes." Me and Laz look at him and go, "Well, why don't you just go around the side of the building over here?" And he goes, "No, what if the person that owns this place comes out and sees me, peeing on the side of their building?" And eventually, me and Laz just looked at him and go, "Use a bottle. I mean, we don't know. Use a bottle." Havoc picks up a bottle. Great idea. I'll use a bottle. Goes over to the corner, and me and Laz start conversating while Havoc's going over into the corner of the dressing area. And we just hear Havoc from across the thing go, "Damn it, I'm dehydrated." And oh man, without batting an eye, I just look up at him and go, "Laz, you better run. He's going to use that on y'all later."
Oh gosh!
Wow! So somebody was pissed in that match.
Oh. So I don't get it. Was he trying to R. Kelly somebody or what? Oh. I mean,
thankfully there was no R. Kelly spots in that match that night. He went and poured it out elsewhere.
Oh my god!
Oh man!
Oh my god!
I've been a part of a few that's kind of just like you would have had to have been there to get just how bad it actually was.
Oh my gosh!
Moving on.
I don't know. I don't think
It can't be no worse than the Waffle House story.
Ooh.
Oh, now you gotta tell
now
that.
you gotta.
Yeah,
the Waffle House story. It was following a show. We were in North Carolina. It was myself, my tag team partner at the time, which was Rex Keller. That was Sons of Rebellion, and we had another worker with us. It was Anthony Xavier. And show had ended. We had all went to Waffle House after the show was over. And we're sitting up at the little bar thing that Waffle House has. I'm eating my waffles. Rex is eating eggs. We look. We see an SUV pull up to the Waffle House, and this looks like one of those straight out of a government movie SUVs. Okay, and the doors open up. All four doors swing open. You just see all these people in nice dress clothes, but they're all wrinkled, undone. Ties are messed up. They are drunk. They had a libation or two, as Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso would put it. And we noticed it was a group of about 6 of them. 4 of them come in, take the booth behind us. Me and Anthony point out a guy and a girl sneak off by themselves into the bathroom of the Waffle House. And we're sitting there about 10 minutes, and Rex is having to use the restroom. Me being me, I get up and I go bang on the door, go, "Come on, kids, wrap it up. It's checkout time." And I heard just this blood-curdling screech from the other side as soon as I banged on that door. I go back. Rex and Anthony are dying laughing. Less than 2 minutes go by. They're coming back out, and you just see dude fixing his shirt really quick. The girl's trying to fix her hair. She's all embarrassed, and yeah, all that just so my tag partner could use the restroom in Waffle House.
Oh my gosh! Wow. You never know what kind of stories you get when you say, "Well, this one time at the Waffle House," because that could go anywhere.
Yeah.
This one time at band camp, anyway.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Oh, pretty much similar, anyway.
The equivalent of this one time at band camp for wrestlers is this one time at Waffle House.
Oh my. That's horrible.
Oh me.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. It's kind of bad.
At least we can't say we're not entertained here tonight.
Right, exactly. Right. So all right. Well, I'll tell you what, man. So tell us some of the shows and some other events you got coming up here.
So Strong Style Pro is looking to book some more dates. I know I'll be working with AIWF Mid-Atlantic. I don't have all of them in front of me right now. I'm going to be posting them on Facebook here pretty soon. I know I'll be doing the AIWF Mid-Atlantic anniversary show in March, and between now and then, it's going to be filling in the gaps where I can.
Right. Right.
Because I usually go into a little bit of a off season for November, December. Usually kind of dies down for me a little bit here. And that's how it's always been. I've never really understood why, but it always kind of dies down around here around November, December for the holidays. So I'm going to be looking to fill out some gaps there. Go elsewhere where it's not quite as died down.
I get you.
So
Some
keep eyes open on Facebook, and we'll get it straight.
Yeah. So where can people find you online?
Facebook is my biggest one. I've got actually Facebook. I've got Instagram. I've got Twitter, but I'm not the most technical savvy person in the world, so pretty much everything goes on Facebook.
There you go. All right. Okay. Well, cool deal. Yeah. So what I will probably do here is, I don't know where you see. You're not sure where others can find you, but if we find anything here, we'll post something up here, maybe on our page, and but
I'll definitely send it to you guys' way once I get all the details ironed out.
Yeah, of course. Sometimes people need to what
What's information's coming soon.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. I was
Where's
like,
that
what
coming soon to a theater near you?
Spoiler alert ticker, and I'm like, what are you doing? What? Okay. All right, but I'll tell you what, Brodie, it was a pleasure having you here. Thanks for hanging out with us here tonight. Make sure you spread the good word to others. Yeah, make sure you spread the good word to others. And man,
I will.
We're looking for good stories, looking for a good conversation, man. That's what we're all about. If you know somebody that's shed them our way.
Where's Billy Warlock when you need him?
There you go. Well, hey, like I said, spread the word, and hey, well, we can probably get something worked out together.
Will do, man. I'll make sure to give him a shout and maybe eventually come back on here too. And hope if we go for a round 2, we don't get canceled for that one either.
No.
I'd offer a manager in the area, but I have class, so I won't.
Oh, geez. Here we go. Here we go. Well,
I have lots of class.
I need to add something to that one.
Sorry, I'm trying to do something here. My apologies, but no,
You're good, man.
God. All right. Well, hey, man, we appreciate you hanging in with us here. I know it's close to midnight over where you're at, and but thanks again for hanging out here with us. And like I said, we'll keep some eye. We always keep our eye out on the AIWF, so we'll be watching for different areas. So.
And buy to bring your wife some flowers and some candy and everything and whatever she desires right now to make up for you being on the show tonight right after you got married. So
I just bought her a new stuffed animal thing. I bought her new pillows. Bought her some the Welch's grape juice bubbly.
Oh right,
that's because stuff too.
Yeah, I did the sucking up before I came on tonight.
Say so you can wine or dine her. If you can't afford that, then just do the last part. So
wine and dine with kings and queens, sleeping alleys, dine on pork and beans. Anyway,
right there you go.
That wasn't the direction he was going, but that works.
There you go.
That's the direction I went with it.
All right, Brodie, thank you very much for joining here with us, and we'll be in touch down the road. All right.
Thanks, guys. It's been a pleasure. This is probably one of the most funner interviews I've done, and it's also actually been one of the ones that's actually least likely to get canceled.
No, we're fine. We're good. But man, we appreciate it, man. You have a good night, man. All right.
You guys too. Have a good one.
All right, thanks, man.
Thank you.
Well, yeah, like I said, a fun interview, man. You didn't think how that would turn out, but everything turned out just fine with that. So, and so I guess, like I said, go back. If you've missed any part of that interview, just go back on YouTube. And, it'll be posted here probably shortly after we go off the air tonight. One other quick thing we're going to touch on here real quick is last Monday on Raw, Cody and Jay losing the tag team titles, going back to the Judgment Day. And do you really think, goodness gracious.
How did they lose them? How did they lose them?
They lost them with Jimmy causing the super kick and basically it was Jimmy Uso coming in and costing the title or costing them to lose. So
which is going to end up being Jimmy and Jay in a match, either at Survivor Series or whatnot, and Cody's going to start getting pissed off at the tribal chief himself.
Yeah, well, do we see the story get resumed and another attempt to go after that undisputed WWE Universal title again then?
I think it'll build all the way through Rumble up to Mania.
Yeah, a lot of things. There's just a lot of things to discuss here. And like I said, Crown Jewel's coming up here in about a couple weeks. Then of course you got Survivor Series, and after that you'll have another pay-per-view filler, and then you'll have the Rumble. So there's still a lot of chapters to establish in these major roles or these major storylines. So, and I know Z was with us here tonight. We'll be discussing and trying to sidearm book for a good while. So.
And I will apologize to some of the jokes I made earlier. Apparently, Facebook removed everybody's thing.
Really?
Because I know some people that went on there and replied to a comment and everything had it already before and it was still showing Facebook user.
Wow.
Thank you, Meta. Just saying.
Yeah, because now... Yeah, so sorry. Yeah, like I said, guys, sometimes it's sometimes Restream is not as friendly as StreamYard when it comes to sharing your name, because I heard that StreamYard is actually easier with that, but with Restream we've got a lot more opportunity to get our brand out there. And like I said, we also have a TikTok. We also have an Instagram too. So, make sure you're liking those. And if we can get enough likes and everything else on TikTok, guess what? We can broadcast on TikTok. And we don't mind doing that just as long as we get our name out there. So, nah, man. And so we're getting into the, getting close to Halloween here. We're hoping to have such an intimidating wrestling guest hopefully next week that I know that you're really close to, GQ, in the past.
Yeah, I don't have anything out here, but
yeah. But we'll try to come up with some Halloween here fun for you next week. And if we don't get it, and if there's anything you guys want to kind of discuss, I mean, because even with Halloween, even with Halloween Havocs or anything else of that nature, we've the best matches of the history of Halloween Havoc. That's another good subject to talk about as well. But just tune in next week, man. Make sure you spread the word, and everybody else will candy. All right, and everybody wants candy. Nice. Well, shoot. Well, hey, GQ is just kind of like old times. We, you and I, guiding the ship, just like the old days, man, and just
felt just like the Titanic.
Oh, jeez. This guy, I'm telling you, man. This guy. Oh, man. Well, I'll tell you what, guys. We are going to go ahead and wrap things up here for this week. We will have a good, fun show here for you next week as well. Make sure you're spreading the word. Tell all your friends. Let's get Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Kick, wherever you view us. Go ahead and get that word spread, and we will be back here next week on those channels, 9 p.m. Central Time, Sunday night. That's where we'll be. So, for GQ, I am Rough Cut Rick Ruby. Thank you very much for joining us, and we will see you next Sunday night with some Halloween fun. Until then, we'll see you. Have a good week, everybody. We thank everybody for tuning in to tonight's episode of the Falls Count Everywhere podcast. Don't forget our friends at the following: Keeping It Cool with Tyler Cooley, the Searcher and Hide podcast, and We Talk Wrestling. The Falls Count Everywhere podcast is an LTX Enterprises production.